Chris is a 42-year-old father and a good friend of mine. And what keeps him up at night is the thought that he might not be able to provide for his family soon, because the type of job Chris has is the type of job that gets easily replaced by intelligent robots. And this used to be science fiction. I'm 38. I lived through revolutions, the internet in the 90s, the mobile revolution. And aside from the blockchain revolution, there's the AI revolution, and more so the robot economy. So we have, Foxconn last year, they replaced 60,000 factory workers with robots, Foxconn being one of the biggest Chinese manufacturers, probably the ones that build some of the parts in the iPhones we carry in our pockets today. But it's not just factory workers that are at risk by the rise of intelligent machines, robots. It's really every job that's not technical. So even things like cooking and even management jobs and lawyers are being affected by this. Even surgeons. There's robots right now that actually beat surgeons at surgeries. I saw a robot, I read about a robot a couple of months ago in Vancouver that actually outperformed human surgeons. So I think what's happening, effectively, non-technical jobs are disappearing, whether we want it or not. So my friend Chris doesn't really have much of a choice but to become a technical guy. Now, to do that, basically he will have to start training himself. He's 42. Can that be done? That's a challenge. And what's incredible is the fact that this is not just Chris or 1,000 people or a market. This is really the whole world, and we're talking kids as well. We need to start developing a kind of education that scales to the point where we can actually train the whole world. There's only about 50 million developers in the whole world and 7 billion people, so we have to train billions of people. This is a massive problem. We literally have to train the entire world to be able to survive the robot economy. So having said that, the demand for tech skills training is absolutely astronomical. So the market is forecasted for edtech alone, just for edtech, to around 250 billion the next couple of years. But the opportunity is much bigger than that, because if we need to train everyone to be a tech worker, that means that the ed market is converging into the ed tech market. There's not going to be an ed market and an ed tech market, just an ed tech market. And the ed market today, education globally, is about $5 trillion. So this is a massive, massive opportunity. But a problem with this is that what we have today in terms of learning, in terms of teaching, even kids, but adults as well, and changing careers after 40, just doesn't scale. I've been in technology for about 20 years now, but the last 2 years, I've dedicated to investigating the problem of the current ed tech industry. And in one word, it's all about videos. So what I've done, I've tried to actually personally do videos. I actually ran a boot camp in Cluj-Napoca. I'm actually from Bucharest, but now I live in Cluj. I actually took an apprentice for a year with me, and I taught him how to code just to pick his brain. Right? So I really, really thought about what is wrong with the current model, and not just what's wrong with the current model, can it scale? And the answer I found is that no, it can't. And I think it can't because 3 main reasons. And I've tried to come up with a model, ideal model, of what we would have to do, not just me as an entrepreneur, but us as a society, if we really wanted to create a model that scales to billions of people who need to become trained as not just developers, but tech people, data scientists and so forth. So I think what I've created, what we're trying to create is a model that we're calling Carmel, and it's based on this concept of infinite learning. The concept that takes even a 42-year-old through a brand new career challenge. And the first pillar of this is the fact that today we have the teacher-student relationship, right? So when I teach a course, so I'm a continuous learner, but I'm also a teacher. I have to teach 1 or 2 or 20, but after 30 or so, I'm maxed. So if we need to scale to billions, there's no way we're going to get enough teachers to teach billions of people. So the fact of the matter is that we need to find a better solution. So the best solution and the natural solution for developers is to teach each other, right? So today, as a developer, I learn on GitHub, I learn on Stack Overflow, I learn a little bit on Reddit maybe. So there's a few places where developers spend time, maybe at meetups and hackathons. And the way developers learn today is very different from the way they learn at Udemy, Pluralsight, and so forth. You know, you take courses there, then you stop taking them, then you get hired, but then you start learning using a different model, peer-to-peer. So I think we need to get to a point where online learning is inherently peer-to-peer. Student to student. If I learn JavaScript today, right, and you're getting started, and maybe I'll write a tutorial for you, and then you got it, and maybe you'll write it for someone else, and so forth, so we give back. And the second thing is that I found a really disturbing trend. I've also done startups, so I've had the development manager sort of hat and the entrepreneur and so forth. And the problem I had with my developers when I wanted them to learn is that in the online model, you have to stop production. So if I want you to learn, to write an iPhone app, what I'd have to do is say, okay, so I'm going to eat this cost. I'm going to put you in front of a video. You're going to press play, be hypnotized by that because it's kind of like watching TV, so it's very passive. And I'm not going to expect you to add value to my product and my business, right? So what happens, there's this model of learning, stopping, producing. Learning, stopping, producing. And in a model where we have every single company in this world becoming a software company and a tech company, we can't afford to have so much downtime. So what I'm imagining is a model, and we already have it, and we've proven it, that it works, where learning and producing is the same thing. So today, at Udemy or one of these online learning classes, when we talk about taking a course or taking a tutorial, we're talking about viewing a video or reading an article. In our model, in the model I'm envisioning, it really means creating code, writing code. Exactly like on a day job, exactly like a developer. So if you write code, you get points and you get respect, in the community, and you produce. And the last one is a sustainable economy in the sense that why should I have a third party in the middle like Udemy or Pluralsight or one of these sites that take a cut, that manage the whole transaction process, where developers just want to exchange information. I want to create a tutorial. I'm saying it costs $5 or whatever of tokens. And then you pay me directly, no third party. And this also puts developers in the driver's seat. I created a company in 2008, 3 weeks after the App Store was created. It was very successful because we're like right there at the beginning. And one of the things I've learned is that Apple won the war with RIM and everyone else, not so much because the phone was nice, it was great, but it's the only phone that developers could write apps for and get really paid, get 70% of the royalties. So if you put developers in the driving seat, then that's going to change it all. So what we also have, in addition to the app that we were going to write on EOS, we're also open sourcing a platform that we'll be working on for about a year now. And next month, it's actually going to be previewed. It's going to be a preview release. And this actually works. We actually build apps with Chunky. It's an open source platform that you can develop, and it's going to be tightly integrated with the EOS platform. So this is pretty much it. We're still working on a white paper and all that stuff in the token distribution. We're actually just taking it from the customer problem. We're trying to figure out a way to get Chris and people like him just sleep at night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have time for just one quick question.
All right, so, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, so when you're in Davos,
Yeah.
what do you use the word blockchain in your presentation?
Sure. Sure.
Listen, I know everything's last minute. I know.
No. It's actually, there's some thought behind that madness. Innovation, decentralization, blockchain, great words, but I just want to stick with the customer problem, trying to focus. But
I hear you, but don't.
Okay,
you're at the
Okay.
d10e decentralization conference.
Sure.
Right? You're not at startup grind.
Sure.
So the whole point is that your business model should require blockchain, or else it's a good model, but it's not necessarily one for here.
100%. So the token's there, the Carmel token's there, and you create contributions like writing source code.
Okay, but before you even do this,
Okay.
Like I said, now you're responding to a question. So when you do your presentation, I'm saying this from the point of view of you winning. Okay. So next presentation, blockchain front and center, token economics, what investors can expect, all that good stuff. Because believe it or not, I'm over your 42-year-old hypothetical. So Chris is a youngster to me. So I'm down with this, and I love learning for video. So kudos, but remember where you are and who you're pitching to.
Noted.
Okay.
Perfect.
Blockchain, and you talk EOS in there. Well, how, why?
Okay.
So you don't have to go crazy with it, but just have that in there.
Understood. Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Good. Thanks.
Do we have any actual questions?
Actual questions?
No?
How are you doing? No, okay.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.